I'm in Max. You are listening to Happy Jack's RPG Podcast. I'm in Max. Pursuing the RPG hobby with reckless abandon.
Why, hello, and welcome to Season 26, Episode 3 of Happy Jack's RPG Podcast. My name is Stu.
And my name is Kimmy.
And that's it, just the two of us for now.
For now.
But over the next 24 hours, you'll have 5 people at a time.
Yep.
In groups of 8.
We're all resting up, getting ready.
No, groups of 5. 8 groups of 5.
6 groups of 5.
Isn't it 8?
Yeah.
There's 4 hours.
Yeah.
6, you're right.
Yeah.
Math.
I did all the organizing. I know exactly how many games are happening.
In case you don't know what we're talking about, this is the kickoff of Rainbow Railroading 2020.
Woo!
This is our fundraiser for the Rainbow Railroad.
Yes.
And we're going to be talking about that. And then also we have an email, from Andrew, who writes in about a court game in L5R. Mm-hmm. And then Eric from New Jersey writes in about a comic book store experience. But first, if you'd like to email us, you can email us at happyjacksrpg@gmail.com. That's happyjacksrpg@gmail.com. Yep. We have a forum, happyjacksforum.com. Go to happyjacksforum.com. Go engage in a flame war or
there's no flame.
It's very erudite discussion.
It's a very cool, friendly community. There's not flame wars.
And we're on the social medias, happyjacksrpg, all one word, on Twitter and Instagram, Facebook, and MeWe.
Yep. And
if you'd like to watch the show live, we do the show at 7:08 p.m. Pacific time, plus or minus 8 minutes. Every Friday night, happyjacks.org/live. But first, Kimmy wants to talk about Rainbow Railroading. Go.
Yes, I do. So much stuff. Okay, so we just started streaming, and there will be someone entertaining you here for the next 25 hours, because we're not stopping until 8 p.m. tomorrow night. We are stopping the stream in between games, just because both Twitch and YouTube have length limits of their videos. So we're going to stop for like 2 minutes between each game, switch out all the players, and then start right back up again with the next game. We have some amazing prizes tonight, so I'm very, very excited about that. So overall, for the very top donor of the whole evening, we have a year-long subscription to the Envy Level monthly box from Dice Envy. Ooh. So if you don't know who Dice Envy is, they're an amazing company. I'm sure you've heard about them. They do a subscription box for Dice every single month. So basically, for 1 year, you will get a new set and a bunch of other cool stuff of dice from Dice Envy, and they're like collectible special sets. They're very cool. So that is like the top donor of the entire event. We are actually leaving the donation page up for a month.
Yes, 1 month.
For a whole month. So we're going to wait until the end of that month, and the top donor of the whole month will get that prize. However, all the other prizes are time dependent this evening. So, for the first game, which is Adam's game, and he is running Spirit of 77. Let's see how much I have this, I'll remember. The top donor for that game will get a Dungeon in a Box subscription for 1 month. So you'll get this cool box. It's all these different things. It's like a whole adventure in there with like little like minis and the whole thing in there. Plus, you'll get an oversized D20 from Dice Envy. So we also have a whole bunch of other stuff. They'll be announcing during all the games. At one point, let's see, we have a Hero Forge code for $35 so you can build a custom mini. Mm-hmm. We have this amazing bundle of, I think it's 12 different downloadable codes from different indie game designers who all put it in together.
Oh, that's awesome.
So in one bundle, you get like 12 different games and cool stuff.
Cool.
So it's very awesome. Other stuff, we have a special publisher's copy of Icarus from Hunters Entertainment and Spencer Stark, who's an amazing designer. We have a bunch of cursed dice sets with certificates. They saying that Stork touched them, so you can get those.
And he did.
He totally did.
It had big, massive dice, and he swirled his hand around inside of it and thought sad thoughts.
Yes. So you can give those to someone you dislike, or you're just your GM.
It's like loaded dice, but no one can tell by looking at them.
Yeah. We have a Fantasy Grounds Ultimate license. So they have all these amazing tools online, and you can basically run games with a whole bunch of different things there. So it's like a whole Ultimate license for that, which is Very expensive and very nice.
Hold on. Ed from Minnesota, Stork touched the dice with his hands. Thank you very much. And I think it was just his left hand. He wanted to know what he Stork touched it with.
No, definitely hands.
Nothing gross.
I wouldn't touch them to mail them to you if they were that. I wouldn't do that. We have a bundle from Magpie Games. With Masks and Urban Shadows PDFs for the full games.
Oh, cool.
Which is really great. And we also have, at another point, we're giving away their Ashcan, a bundle of their Ashcan games, PDFs of all that stuff.
Cool.
Yeah,
Awesome.
So it's really good. So, and there's a bunch of other stuff. But, yeah, basically every game you have for the whole month you have the top donor prize you can get. Every game has a top donor of the game, and then they have two other prizes for the top donor of the first half of the game and then the top donor of the second half of the game. So it's very exciting.
Excellent. And for those who don't know, Kimmy,
hi.
What does Rainbow Railroad do?
Rainbow Railroad is an incredible charity organization that helps LGBTQIA plus people who are in countries that are putting their lives in danger with their laws and policies and things like that. And it gets them to safety. So we became aware of them last year when we started this event. As you know, there was a very well-known game company that came out with a splat book, or with a new edition that had things that were actual harmful things that were happening to people in Chechnya, as part of their setting, which is very upsetting to a lot of people in the gaming community. A lot of people... Excuse me, very upsetting to obviously a lot of people in the LGBTQIA plus community. So our response to that was to raise money for Rainbow Railroad and help find a way to get those people out of those situations. And Rainbow Railroad is incredible. They're fantastic. We were able to raise over $6,000 from the last year.
Right.
And we're hoping to get over $10,000 this year.
And that's an important number because that is approximately how much it costs them to get someone out of the country they're in to some place where they'll be safe.
Right, absolutely. So if you'd like to donate, please go to happyjacks.org/rainbow. And all the donations there. If you want to donate anonymously, you can do that. If you want to win prizes, don't do that. So it's amazing, and they've been in contact with us. They're very excited about this event. They're a smaller charity, so like they don't have like the mega bucks to do a ton of marketing and things like that. Right. And the best thing about them is I believe it's like 90%, almost 90% of their income. The donations actually go to their cause, so they're not spending a huge portion on overhead as far as like administrative tasks or marketing and things like that. So they're really out there, really helping people. All right.
Now, I just noticed that we've got some early bird donations that happened. Should we mention them?
You should do that. I don't have a thing to look at them, so you should announce it.
Let me find it right now.
Okay. That's fantastic.
Donor report.
Uh-huh.
Let's see. Like I don't matter.
Yeah, you can see it on the front page, too. If you just go to Rainbow, they're listed there.
Okay. Well, I'm in the back end part. Arian and Jamie, Jami. Those are the two.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
I also get named 50 as well.
Yeah, good job.
Of course. So, thank you very much.
Yeah.
For your very generous donations.
Yes,
absolutely. And we're off to a good start.
We are.
Because the page has only been up for a few hours.
Yeah, and we've only started like announcing it in the last 2 hours.
Right.
So, yeah. But yeah, if you go to happyjacks.org/rainbow, it will redirect you to what's the interface we're using? Mighty
Cause.
Mighty Cause.
Yes.
And we worked with them last year.
Yeah. Well, we worked with GiveMN, which is a branded version of Mighty Cause.
Yeah.
This year we just went directly to the parent thing.
And they were great. They were very communicative with us last year. And they're they take the smallest percentage of we could find of any interface.
Yeah.
So, and they were very helpful, and they're great.
There's also an option on there. When you make a donation, it will give you, like make a $50 donation, it will say $56.38 or something like that. And that's the credit card transaction fees and the fees that Mighty Cause takes.
Right.
So you have the option to pay a little more than what your donation is, so that Rainbow Railroad gets that whole amount.
The whole amount. That's awesome. Yeah. Is that right?
All right. Should we go into the first email?
Yeah, I don't know. Should we take bets first, though? And if anybody gets their times confused and gets confused with.
And I get woken up in the middle of the night to complain again.
That was me last year, so.
Right. I'm not going to take that bet.
I don't want to. Knock on wood. We don't want that.
It's tough. It's tough, especially that coveted 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. slot.
Man. Last year, my brain melted. Like, I was sitting there playing Masks at one point, and someone's like, okay, what do you do? And I literally just, like, could not think of anything. I couldn't think of anything.
You couldn't think.
Like, I stopped, like, just registering. I was like, I literally can't think of any single thing, at all.
No one's doing the whole run.
No.
We're not sleep depriving everyone for 24 hours.
Yeah, we have a couple of people who are amazing and signed up for more than one time slot. But for the most part, it's completely fresh games every 4 hours.
Right.
So.
Am I signed up to playing anything? I don't think I am.
No,
I'm
you're
just running.
running.
I'm running at 8 a.m.
Yeah.
Do you want to do a rundown quick of the games?
Yes, I should do that. So right after this, at 8 p.m., we have Adam, who's running Spirit of 77. Mm-hmm. After that, we have Emily, who's running Girl Underground. Then she's running from midnight to 4 a.m. From 4 a.m. to 8 a.m., we have Jason, who's running a Masks.
How did he score that awesome slot?
He offered, man.
Oh, he did? Okay,
yeah.
all right.
And
good on him.
And he did it last year, so I knew he would, like, show up.
Right.
So 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. From 8 a.m. to noon, we've got you, and you're running Traveler.
I'm running Traveler. What is it called? It's the Groom Bridge 34 incident, and it's set in Exodus.
Yes, very nice. So you have to deal with all the fallout from our campaign. Haha.
Yes. Actually, it takes place before.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
all right. From noon to 4 p.m., we've got Chris Gray. He's running the Great American Novel, a new kind of hack he's made of it. So he's kind of he's
been experimenting with it.
Yeah, so it's very exciting. And then finally closing us out from 4 p.m. tomorrow to 8 p.m., we've got Abria, and she's running Overlight, I believe is the name of the system.
Really?
So it's very exciting.
Excellent.
Oh, God, I remembered it all. That's amazing.
You did. I was expecting you to have it written down somewhere. I'm like, no, don't. Why am I sitting down?
I should.
All right. Winter Court Games Without Travel, and this is from Andrew.
Okay.
Hello, Stu, and all the rest of the Jacker crew. Just you. We have run a lot of L5R in our group, including the completion of a, quote, living world, end quote, campaign that consisted of 2 intertwined campaigns run by myself and one of my friends. It was an incredible achievement for us that ended in a special court session where every player took the role of one of each of the clans to make the final decision about the fate of the empire and the family line. That's awesome. Ever since this, everyone has wanted to play a real court game. Rather than just a one-shot. I finally agreed to try running a court game for my group, and it brought up an interesting complication. How do you keep a game interesting when everyone is stuck in one location? Is this even something that can work for more than a few sessions? Please take a drink and discuss. My apologies, Canada. And Rainbow Road is Canadian-based. Charity as well, so I apologize to them too for burping in case they're offended by my guess. So, I've never run a court game.
No,
I've only run travel-y games where you go places and you do things. And that most role-playing games, it's usually kind of what you do, but not always.
Yeah.
I mean, there are games where you're sort of kind of restricted. The Mode of Sin, you guys are on your island.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not stuck inside of a castle or a keep, but you're on an island and you go to different places and you do things, and you didn't really venture off there very often.
Right.
All the stuff happened there. So I don't think it's difficult to get your mind around running a game without travel. What you need to think of it's like the difference between any other Star Trek and DS9.
Yeah.
It's like instead of boldly going, you boldly stay.
Yeah.
And the big thing is you just got to make sure as the GM that you have enough complications, enough NPCs.
Yeah, drama.
Yeah. Points where the players have to make critical decisions, difficult decisions, especially in L5R, because you're constantly balancing the tenets of Bushido, right? Yeah. So you always want to try to find that moment where they have to make a decision, and either one is going to violate one of the tenets, so they have to kind of like fight over what it's going to be, or stab each other over what it's going to be, or whatever. But I think if you keep the players busy, they don't get bored. Because you guys weren't bored in the Moto Sin game.
No,
you were the opposite. You were
of
overwhelmed.
bored. We were overwhelmed by all the things.
Right. You can actually go too far, which I think I did. It's like throw out complications to complications.
Well, we also just like you like to say, like the balancing plates thing, like just over and over. Like we wouldn't make decisions.
Yeah, the spinning plates.
That's what it is, yeah. I think also one of the things you really have to keep in mind is like trust is a huge thing in court. In L5R, and knowing who you can trust and who you can't, and maybe doubting, oh, well, I thought I could trust them, but then suddenly I told them this thing, and now someone else knows that thing. Like finding ways to make them doubt their own alliances with NPCs and other people. Don't do that with the party. You don't want the party to distrust each other.
Well, maybe you do.
Or maybe you do. I mean, be careful.
Right.
But like making them like always a little on edge. Like they should never feel comfortable at court, especially if it's like a winter court where they're all like trapped there
and they're stuck. Right?
Yeah, and they're stuck. That should not be something that they're ever like relaxed in. It's not a vacation. So.
And I think there's kind of a to-do list for courtiers coming into a winter court. One of the things is they need to have a safe place where they can communicate openly.
Yes.
And that's going to be hard.
Yeah.
Because there's always doorways, there's always hallways, and people peeking or sneaking around and overhearing things.
And because it's winter, it's not super great to be outside a lot.
Right.
So, like, that's what those nice gardens are for, like quiet conversations where you can see everyone around you.
Right.
But it's snowing and cold.
Right. So you're probably not going to want to go out there.
Not a lot.
So, I mean, but having a place where you know that what you're saying is secure, I think is one of those things very early on the characters are going to want to identify and secure.
Yeah.
And the other thing is you're gonna front load it, and I wouldn't front load it. I would, because I mean winter court starts when it starts, but you've got to travel, and travel takes a long time in the winter or the early winter. So instead of saying, okay, here's the 50 NPCs in the keep, no, don't do that.
No. That's exhausting.
Slow roll them.
Yeah.
Say, oh, well, when you arrive, there's this group from this clan, and there's this group from this clan, and of course the hosts, whoever they are. And so, introduce those people, give them a little bit of time to interact, and then maybe 2 or 3 days later, oh, here comes the Phoenix clan, and then maybe a week after that, here comes the Scorpions, and then a week after that, here come the Crane.
Yeah.
And then, slow roll all these people in and let them get to know each other, because when you're having a court game, to me, not a lot of dice rolling, a lot of talking.
Yeah.
It's a lot of character interaction between the GM and the players. Learning who the people are, trying to figure out what it is they're there for, what their goals are, if they align with yours and you can work together, or if you're at cross purposes and that you're going to end up being not friendly to each other.
Right. I would actually start possibly not at court. I would maybe do your first session of your, depending, if you're doing the parties all from the same clan, then have them do one session before they leave for winter court together in a safe place, so they can get to know each other as players and get to know each other as characters. So they can build a little bit of rapport, so they're not trying to figure each other out while they're trying to figure out court.
Right.
Because that'll be very helpful to have those character connections already formed before they get there. And then once they get there, they kind of have a unified front. They know where everybody stands, all that. So it'll give them a little more backstory.
It's more likely they're not all going to be from the same clan, but I'd still have them meet along the way, on the road, and that they all happen to stop at the same inn on the way there.
And they need to have a common purpose.
Yeah.
So that's got to be, maybe. But, it would also be, that's going to be tricky. I guess we've only ever played L5R games where everyone's the same clan.
That's because it's never, I cannot wrap my head around
Me neither.
having a party made up of all these different clans, because that's where the conflict usually is.
Yeah.
It can be, Rokugan versus the Shadowlands.
Yeah.
But that's just D&D with samurai swords.
Yeah.
But if you're playing an actual game where there's conflict between all of the different clans,
Yeah.
how does that party work together?
Right.
Now normally the way it works is like a what do they call it? What is it? The Emerald Champion, or one of the champions sends them out as magistrates or something like that to go investigate something. So it's a group of people who have been given a task.
Yeah.
But you tend not to have a whole lot of latitude on what you can do that way unless you're Scorpion.
Yeah, well, especially in a winter court game. Like,
Right.
I can't fathom how that would work unless, like, there was a murderer at court or something. It was like a mystery and...
Oh, there better be 3 or 4 murders at court.
Well, yeah, but I mean, no, someone that they're trying to work together who's after the emperor or something, and those people from other clans are all working together for this one purpose.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only kind of situation I can see in a winter court setting where you'd really have people from multiple clans all really working to help each other or working together, even if they were trying to backstab each other. Because the rest of the time, so much of winter court is like vying for attention.
Right.
And like pushing other clans down to push your clan up. So definitely like have either a very clear thing that they are all asked to do at court, which is there's a very small list of those things,
Right.
or have them all be from the same clan.
I could almost see a multi-clan court game almost being like playing diplomacy.
Yeah, totally. Actually,
It really could be. In fact, it's kind of a tangent. There is someone made a Rokugan map that you can use for diplomacy.
oh, that's cool.
It's got all of it's got the clans, and those are instead of the great powers, you pick a clan, and then they basically recreated there's been so many Rokugan maps, but they recreated a Rokugan map that you can use as a diplomacy board.
Yeah.
That would be such a fun game to play.
S. Britcher in the chat room says that they should play Murder on the Mitsubishi Toshi Express.
Mitsubishi Toshi.
Is
And I don't know if I would run a whole campaign for Inukai. I might run like a 3 or 4 session thing.
for a court game, you mean specifically? Yeah.
Specifically a court game, because they asked that earlier
Yeah.
in there as well.
I don't know though. I feel like where I am as a gamer now, like I could see a campaign of that. Like not a super long campaign, but now that we've played a bunch of systems that a lot of them end up not being super fighty campaigns. I feel like if anybody could talk for an entire campaign without rolling dice, we could find the people here. I believe in us.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
So I think that the big takeaway, if you're going to run a court game or any game where you're not going to have a lot of travel, the GM has a lot of upfront prep to do because you're going to have to come up with a lot of NPCs, and you really you can come up with them on the fly, but at least for me, they usually end up being better if I had some time to prepare them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got a few NPCs that I've introduced in the vampire game I'm running right now, and I actually sat down and wrote out like what their personalities are and their idiosyncrasies and quirks.
Yeah.
And so far, there's at least 1 or 2 of them the party's kind of glommed onto a little bit. There's the Malkavian, not Seneschal, what's the term I'm thinking of? The guy who... Primogen.
Yeah, Parmesan. I'm like, I don't know. Can't read your mind yet. We're close, but...
Silas the Great.
Ah.
And he's a mountain man. And I
So
basically
cool.
kind of modeled him after the guy with the bear head from True Grit, the remake of True Grit.
Oh, nice.
I am also a dentist. That guy?
Okay.
I kind of modeled him after that. And you really, if you're going to run that kind of game, your NPCs are the lifeblood of that campaign.
Yeah.
You don't have the big giant dragons or the set pieces or the mystery of going to unknown places. So your NPCs basically are your landscape, and you got to spend a lot of time on them and make them unique and make them intricate.
Yeah.
Because if they're not,
Yeah.
that's not a challenging game.
Yeah. What the challenge from court games doesn't come from the fights. It comes from the rigid structure and the rigid, manners that are needed. So make sure, like, it sounds like your group has already played a bunch of L5R, so they probably know a bunch of it already. But make sure they're very clear, like, before they go to court, like, these are the rules. This is how you address things. Because that's kind of the fun, too, of it, of like, handling the problems and handling the drama that comes their way without breaking protocol. and without like dishonoring themselves. So you have to work in very tight confines, and you have to be very creative about solving problems that come up without accidentally insulting someone or dueling everybody, because that's not fun.
Right.
I mean, maybe it's fun for you, but it's not fun for me.
This reminds me, I've talked about this once before, because the first time I ran L5R, I watched a shit ton of samurai movies. A lot of them. And the Japanese Imperial Ministry of Information or something, during World War II, produced a film that's about 6 hours long. It's called 47 Ronin.
Yeah.
It's not the Keanu Reeves film.
No, don't watch that for information.
No.
The Keanu Reeves
I enjoyed it. It's a fun movie.
It's fine, but don't look at that. No, don't want that.
Maybe the only film he didn't say whoa in, though. But getting back to the original,
which is actually produced by the government of Japan.
It was produced by it was a propaganda piece,
yes,
for the war effort. And in that film, and it's a 2-part, each one's like 3 hours long, and it drags. But I watched the whole damn thing, and it starts out in a court, and something happens to the daimyo of these 47 samurai.
Yeah.
And he ends up drawing his blade on someone. I don't think he attacked him. I don't remember. But just doing that, he was compelled to commit seppuku.
Yeah.
So he had to kill himself, and that turned these 47 samurai into Ronin.
Yeah.
And the vast majority of that film is them deliberating what they should do. I mean, hours and hours of them sitting around trying to figure out what they should do, trying to gather information. That's kind of what it would be like. Hard film to find. It was on Hulu back when Hulu used to have a ton of samurai movies on. They used to have a ton of Asian films. This is when Hulu kind of first got started.
Yeah.
All that stuff is off there now.
Yeah.
Because of Letterkenny. But not some why. But that kind of gives you sort of a feel for what it's going to be like. It's a lot of people sitting around posing and talking.
Clothes are very important.
They are.
Yeah.
But I think, let me just get back to the sort of like my main takeaway about NPCs and how important they are. The other thing you need to remember, and this is something that I did in the Mode of Sin game, when you're in one place, you have to bring the adventures to the party rather than have them go out and find the adventures.
Yes.
So maybe there's someone unexpected. Maybe someone from the Scorpion clan wasn't invited, but one showed up. And you got to be courteous to people, so they let him in, and suddenly there's this wrench inside of things. And, I mean, you need to have... The GM should always, in this kind of a game, should always have 3 or 4 things they can throw in to create a complication of some kind. This might be they discover that here's the representatives of these 2 clans over here who are currently at war, right?
Yeah.
And one of the party members happens to notice them whispering to each other in the corner. What's that all about? We need to figure out what that's all about, because we need all the information we can get.
Yeah.
Is this war for show, and there's really some other purpose to it? Are these 2 secretly lovers? I mean, there's all kinds of things it can be.
Drama. It's all about drama.
It is. So, I mean, but always try to have 2 or 3 things that you can throw in your back pocket when there starts to be a lull.
Yeah.
And at some point, just like every other campaign, at some point the party's going to find their sea legs, and they're going to start acting as... They're going to start acting proactively. And they're going to have plans. At that point, then you can kind of sit back and relax.
Yeah.
But prior to that, you need to have things to throw in to make things... to put depths of complexity into what's going on.
Yeah.
I think.
No, absolutely. I agree. Drama!
Oh, we've had a couple more donations.
We have.
James, thank you very much.
Whew.
And Master Vidar.
Lloyd.
Yeah, but it says on behalf.
For Master Vidar.
Thank you, guys.
Master Vidar.
Master Vader.
Years
just got it.
Years
No.
of me saying that. Nate.
All right, comic book store experience
Comic book
from
store
Eric.
experience.
Who's in the chat room? Hi, chat room, by
There's
the way.
a lot of people in the chat room right now.
Are there really?
Yeah, there's a lot of people. There's
Holy
39
metric.
people hanging out.
Hi.
And we haven't even started the games yet.
Welcome to Happy Jacks if
Yeah.
you've never
Been
been
here.
here before.
Aren't you glad you dressed up, Stu?
I almost I
I
couldn't
know,
find my
you couldn't find
tie.
your tie.
I couldn't find the tie. If I'd found the tie, I would have worn my tux. So instead of wearing my Strategicon t-shirt.
Yes, that's good.
They're also doing
This is the real Happy Jacks experience, is you and tie-dye, I think.
Well, out of Strategicon and tie-dye shirts, man.
It's a thing.
They love tie-dye shirts.
do.
They always have a tie-dye.
All right, comic book store experience from Eric in New Jersey. Hello, all you wonderful people. It's Eric from New Jersey yet again. I'm sorry I'm writing in again, but blame Erica Odd for this. I posted this in the forums, and she said it would make a great email. Okay, maybe blame me, not Erica.
I would blame you both equally.
Yeah. We love emails. It's great.
We kind of need them.
Yeah. My dear 9-year-old Jacob decided he wanted to start painting minis. I never painted minis, so I watched some YouTube videos about it and then took him to a paint night at the local comic book store on Minis Paint Night.
They have paint nights at your comic book store? That's awesome.
That's very cool.
I mean, we had to have the paint and take
Yeah.
at Strategicon, where they like give you a mini and there's a bunch of paint and brushes
Get the
and
paint,
paint.
yeah.
And the people who are working it, a lot of them kind of know what they're doing.
Yeah, they
so
do
they'll
good stuff.
and if you ask, they'll kind of help you out. They help little kids out and stuff like that. It won't help me. Actually, they might have.
They might if you ask. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you wore your tie-dye t-shirt. They totally would.
Maybe.
I wasn't sure how the longtime Warhammer painters would react to some 9-year-old and his Cluestad coming in on, quote, their night at the store. To say the other painters were extremely accommodating would be an understatement. Several of the painters helped explain things to Jacob and I about painting, and one of them cracked me up by telling Jacob, "Now remember, it's your miniature, so paint it whatever colors you want." Nice. They took the time out of their painting to help a little kid learn a new hobby. The staff of the store was awesome too, because they had loaner paints, which they let us use because they wanted to make sure we would enjoy it first before we started making an investment in paints.
That is so awesome.
That's amazing.
That
is
fantastic.
so cool.
I bet you all those Warhammer guys who were super friendly, they all play Thousand Suns. 'Cause they're the best.
I love that. I love that. Like, they're just like excited about a kid getting excited about their hobby. Like, I
It's
don't know.
one more person you can play Warhammer with. Right? I mean, that's
Or
the whole
they're
thing.
nice.
Warhammer, it's like 60 hours of painting for 5 hours of play.
It's true.
Or 600 hours of painting.
So much painting. It's crazy. We went back this past Thursday, the week before Thanksgiving, for another paint night. Everyone remembered Jacob and gave him a place to sit at the table with them. One painter said that he had 2 surprises for Jacob. Jacob had painted a horse the prior week, and David had 3D printed a horse to go with the cart.
I think he painted a cart.
Cart.
Or he 3D printed a cart.
for
Right.
the horse. Yes.
That is so
That's
awesome.
David also remembered a conversation with Jacob from the prior week about how to train your dragon and presented Jacob with a 6-inch long dragon named Toothless for Jacob to paint. Oh my gosh, I want to go give all these people hugs. It's amazing. This is like the best feel-good story ever.
And these are Warhammer guys. What up? Where is it? In New Jersey? Is this in Jersey? Holy
It's
that's the
amazing.
East Coast. You guys are mean, aren't you?
No, I don't. We apologize.
I've heard that.
This is great.
Maybe that's just New York.
Maybe. I don't know. I would say
Wow.
people were really nice.
That
But
is
they
a
didn't
fa-
give me minis. Like,
What a fantastic place.
Yeah. Several of the workers made Jacob show off his Toothless when it was painted and made my child feel like $1,000,000.
That is so awesome.
That is amazing. All in all, the kindness of my fellow gamers gives me pause. For all the horror stories we hear, I'm actually like choking up. This is like really nice. For all the horror stories we hear, there are great people in this hobby, and these nights proved it. Also, the comic book store, they would give me all the support I needed if I wanted to run demos of Savage Worlds, which they knew very little about, and PBTA games, which they've never even heard of. I feel like a missionary. which I will take them up on when my copy of Suede gets to the store. So here's a public salute to the Portal Comics and Gaming in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. The Portal Comics and
The
Gaming.
Portal Comics and Gaming.
Yes, I get it. There's not a thing. There's no punctuation.
I know.
The Portal Comics and Gaming in Bethlehem, PA. Both employees
it's
and
in
customers.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Okay.
With
That's not interesting.
with a special shout out to Warhammer enthusiasts Brendan and David for their help and advice.
That is so awesome.
So good. As always, I hope everything finds you well. Stay tipsy, stay diverse, stay jackin'. Eric from New Jersey. That is so good.
It is.
They 3D printed him special stuff. A cart with his horse.
That
That's
is
the nicest
fantastic.
thing. And they didn't even know for sure he'd come back. They just did it hoping he'd come back so much that anticipating that he might come back, they made things for him. That is so nice.
It is.
All right. That is so cool.
It's fantastic. So I can either pull up another email because we've still got 18 minutes.
Yeah.
I can either pull up another email or I can do an AMA.
I don't know. We can do both, I feel like. Let's do
pull an
an AMA
email.
while you pull up an email. So
Okay.
ask us anything. If
Well,
you're on
within reason.
within reason in the chat room, yes.
Don't ask what my social security number is. That won't happen 3 times.
Okay.
Or my driver's license number.
And
Or my
Erica's
address.
Odd is in the chat room. She says there's pictures of the cart on the forum. So if you go to happyjacksforum.com or happyjacks.org/forum, yeah, you can
Paying that $5 a year.
okay. You can go and see the cool painted cart. I want to see that.
What color are my favorite dice? What color are your favorite dice?
Oh, that changes. Right now, they're this cool greeny blue, and they kind of change. They're iridescent when you roll them. They're different. They're my favorite right now.
I don't know, but my favorite that I've got right now
Oh, you've got the
are
cool.
these.
Oh, the cool metal ones.
Yeah.
With the
What are
gold
these
and
are
black.
From, these are from Kraken, I think. And they're black with gold.
Yeah, those are nice.
I like those.
Yeah.
I'm using those for Call of Cthulhu.
Yeah.
But they're only my favorite dice because I'm using them right now. One of my favorite dice are the dice I use.
Biggest rules quibble recently in recent streaming memory.
Rules quibble.
I don't know if we have quibbles.
Oh, the biggest one that we've had was when Stork was doing character creation for Vampire.
Oh.
And he was trying to make
Recently?
a character with a
The new
disadvantage that wasn't a disadvantage.
Oh.
At least that's my side of the story.
Well, he's not here, so that was what.
So that was...
So tell us.
He made a character who was a bagger, which means he doesn't drink from people. He wants to drink bagged blood.
Yes.
Right. But he had something. I don't remember what it was, but he'd taken this thing that I don't remember exactly what it was. But it's okay, wait a second. That sort of precludes the whole vampire monster cost thing. I don't remember exactly what it was, but that's the most recent one I can think of.
Got it.
That wasn't a major quibble. I mean, it was brand new system, hasn't been run a lot, so that
Yeah.
there's still some discrepancies in it.
Davey O'Mac, hey, is EasyRollerDice.com still a sponsor? I tend to buy dice from them, though. There's the other dice company that is being shilled. It switches. Actually, we have different things.
Yeah.
So, some episodes are sponsored by one company. Easy Roller, it's still a great friend of ours. We love them. They're fantastic. We all still use their dice trays to carry our dice around in.
Absolutely. That's what I just...
Yep, picked it up. And then we've got Dice Envy, who Abrio is working for them. She's their CMO and acting CEO right now, and they donated a bunch of stuff. So we're in a poly relationship with dice companies.
Yeah.
We do not discriminate. We like a lot of them.
Game most looking forward to playing this year. I might be interested in actually running a L5R court game now.
I know, now that we just spent all the time. I'm having a blast with my mask game. That's the one that I was looking forward to doing, and it's just amazing right now. There's so much drama. It's people are you're running Monster Hearts with masks. There's so much drama. So Jason called it Masker Hearts.
Masker Hearts. What is the coolest thing that you had planned that never happened because the campaign took a left turn?
Oh my God! Jason says we're poly-romantic. We're poly-romantic. That's hilarious because it's dice. Get it? Okay, I thought it's very good.
What is the coolest thing you had planned that never happened because of the campaign took a left turn?
Oh.
My Exodus setting for Traveler, the frickin' Merchant Guild. It just never came up.
Never happened.
And they're frickin' crazy. I sent out to the Patreon people, I sent out that section of the chapter on them, and they're like, yeah, I can see why you didn't put them in there. because they're nuts.
Yeah, that's crazy. I think I don't even remember everything about it, but I was running my Wild West Wild Talents game, Wild Talents. I had this crazy thing planned for them if they went to the Standing Stones at one point, where this crazy magic thing was going to happen, and they just never did it again.
Oh,
so
really?
it was still a very good game. I was like, okay, gonna switch things up now, because I thought that's what was going to happen, but never mind.
Any Savage Worlds games in the future? I'll run Savage Worlds again. I like Savage Worlds.
Yeah.
Prep light, man.
Yeah. Well, I think also Nick has one that he
he
wants
does?
to run.
Okay.
I think because Deadlands, isn't that one a Savage Worlds one?
There's a Deadlands version of Savage Worlds. There's also Deadlands on its own. Sorry, Deadlands.
Deadlands.
On its own,
Yeah, I don't remember. I think he's interested in running the Savage Worlds one, but I'm not 100% sure.
What's your single most favorite memory from any of the APs you've been involved in?
I'm sorry?
What's your single most favorite memory from any of the APs you've been involved in?
Jason says one of his is it has to be Samantha eating a zombie in the Fallout game. It's a very recent memory.
Right.
Oh, gosh, that's a good question. I don't know.
I know what mine is.
Yeah, go.
The last L5R game we ran, when you guys met with the daimyo, and he bequeathed to each of you a sword from one of your ancestors. And you guys are like,
oh my, that's very close to mine too. Like, I legitimately started crying when when we were getting the swords, and someone got a Kume's sword. Like, that's the crazy thing about that campaign is just like now that we've played like so many generations of it, it's like
it's got its own history now.
It's got so much history with it. It's amazing. Oh man, yeah, I get goosebumps when I think about that. That's a good one. I think one of my favorite moments is when Adrian. Spoilers, but if you haven't watched the original Vampire campaign, when Adrian died, it was super like this character I played for a really long time. It was like, but it was like an interesting, powerful death. And then I got to come back as like Sedite asshole and just like fuck everyone shit up. Like I just got to throw all the wrenches after being like the good leader and prince for like so long. It was just like, aha! I'm free, you fools. It was very fun.
A recent memory would be the reaction you and Pooja had when Dave's character in the Call of Cthulhu game is in absolute darkness and starts flicking his lighter.
Yeah. Oh, that was terrifying. That was last episode.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. Oh my god! It was like the angels from Doctor Who.
Kind of, yeah.
And it's like they were in absolute darkness, and I wasn't even there. My character wasn't there, and I was so creeped out. And like he'd flick the lighter because it wouldn't go on.
Right. So it's just the sparks from the
spark
flame.
for just a millisecond, and every time there's like these grinning faces that like get closer. I was just like, oh no,
Stop with the lighter. Put the lighter away.
Yeah, please,
you don't want to see.
Don't do that. You don't want to see that. It was a great scene.
And that totally came from Dave taking his lighter out. I'm like, oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
it won't light, and it flicks, and he sees what's there, but only for an instant.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Oh, gosh, a recent one. I think, oh, man. I've had so many good ones recently. Yeah, I have to think about that more. I can't pick one.
We probably, let's see, it's 7:49. Probably got time for one or two more questions.
Yeah.
If anyone has any more questions.
They're all just now talking about cool moments from the APs. GM Radio Rob, he says, I always remember Samantha as the dragon hatchling in the Rifts game. Oh my god, you're poutine.
I didn't kill her.
No, you didn't.
It was
No, it wasn't her.
No, it wasn't. No, it would have been her.
It was going to be her. And then Bill, stepped in the way.
Right.
Oh, man, that was
he had
a good
his
one.
Blaze of Glory thing.
Yeah. I have a question. What is one system that we haven't played at all on Happy Jacks that you'd like to see? Not necessarily you run, but have somebody run sometime.
As an AP?
As an AP, yeah.
We have not run GURPS.
That's true.
We've run one-shots.
Yeah, we've been one
or two one-shots, but we haven't run an actual campaign. I would totally run I would love to run like an old, low fantasy
That'd be cool.
GURPS game. That would be fun.
That'd be very cool. We've never had anyone run Champions either, right?
In an AP, no.
Not an AP, yeah.
That's because time slows to a crawl when you get into combat.
That's true.
I love the combat system.
Yeah.
But boy, it takes a lot of time.
We've never had a Pathfinder either.
Nope. I've got Starfinder. I've been reading through it.
Yeah.
There's some interesting stuff.
Pathfinder in space.
Right. Space Finder. That's what I like calling it. Can you folks talk about the Alien RPG for Spin?
Actually, Kadeve's going to be streaming that from the con.
Oh,
so
that's right.
He just got the new Alien RPG, and he really likes it. So that'll be one of the one-shots that are streamed from the con. Then that is the weekend of February 14th through the 17th.
Right.
Because it just happens to hit both Valentine's Day and my anniversary, and my husband is super excited about that.
Right. He loves hanging out with a bunch of gaming nerds.
Yeah. He makes all our graphics, so he doesn't hate us too much.
Right. Well, at least he doesn't hate one of us.
One of us.
No. Any more? Is that it? 7:52.
We're good. We're fine. Other questions?
And we're about to... Have you heard anyone? Is anyone out there?
Yeah, they're out there.
They are. Okay.
They're ready. They're loud.
Because I have a camera set up out there so I can see what people are doing.
And Jason says he's very excited to run Impulse Drive at the con.
Awesome.
So he's running that. Yeah, we have a bunch of really cool stuff at the con.
I'm going to be running Traveler again.
Yeah, that's good. That's okay.
A different adventure, but yeah.
You've created an entire giant setting system for it, so...
175 pages, and it's basically done, but I need it. There's so many typos in it.
So many typos.
I need to. I got to go through it myself, editing wise, and then I need to send it to a proofreader.
Why don't I just talk really quickly for those of you who may have missed the very beginning, because there's a lot more people here now.
Oh, someone is asking what Adam's running tonight.
Oh, Adam is running Spirit of 77. So he's running that in 5 minutes.
By Monkey Fun Studios.
Yeah, by Monkey Fun Studios. Friend of the show, Monkey Fun Studios. Prizes tonight, if you didn't hear earlier, for our grand prize for the biggest donation, and we're actually leaving the charity page up for a whole month because the more money we can get for this amazing cause, the better. The top donor for the entire month will get a year-long subscription to the Envy level monthly box from Dice Envy. So every month you get new dice in your mail. And that's amazing. We also have Dungeon in a Box. They've given us a couple boxes that we're giving away. We have this amazing bundle of 12 download codes from amazing indie game designers. So you get free games and cool stuff. Hero Forge sent us a code so you can get minis and stuff custom made for free or for lower cost, depending on how expensive you pick. We have a publisher's copy of Icarus from Hunters Entertainment and Spencer Stark. We have sets of cursed dice that have been touched by Stork, and they come with a signed certificate from Stu. We have amazing oversized rainbow D20 dice from Dice Envy. We have a where's the other thing? Oh, we have a Magpie Games bundle. We've got 2 of those. One of them has Masks and Urban Shadows, and the other one has a bunch of their Ashcan games in there. We also have a Quiddy metal dice set, a fancy dice set named after Dear Abria, with a beautiful wooden case. And there's one more thing. Where is it? Sorry, I have paper. Oh, and we have a Fantasy Grounds Ultimate license that we're also giving away at different times tonight.
Excellent.
So lots of things. Tune in at different times. The Dice Envy subscription is for the month, the highest donor gets that. And all the other ones are based on tuning in at certain times tonight and being here and donating during those times. So it's very exciting.
So all you people in all those different time zones out there will all have your chance
This is your
without having to
time.
stay up into the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're about done.
Yep.
There's one other thing.
happyjacks.org/rainbow.
happyjacks.org/rainbow. Someone asked about Moment of Truth. Yes, Moment of Truth still exists. I'm working on the Traveler thing right now, but I'm actually kind of working on a revision of Moment of Truth. So, but that's in the works. And I think that's it.
We can multitask. It's exciting.
Kind of. It's actually single tasking in rapid succession with different things.
Okay. Well, I can multitask.
I can rub my tummy.
Patting your head and rubbing your tummy. I'm impressed.
It's about as good as it gets.
Well done.
I can also play bass and sing at the same time, which is a feat.
That's hard.
Yes, it is. All right. So thank you very much. Let's send them out.
Okay.
Should I play the old anthem or the new anthem?
Oh, the original, the best. I don't know, the one that we don't get yelled at for.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Yeah!
All right. See you later.
Thank you for joining us for season 26, episode 3 of Happy Jack's RPG Podcast. My name is Stu.
I'm Kimmy, and this is Rainbow Railroad. And we're starting.
You will be seeing people in about 4 or 5 minutes.
Really quick, don't leave, or go get caffeine and come back.
Thank you very much. We won't have time to leave with a song.
Nope, goodbye.
From Michigan to Australia and maybe East Timor, be a trip so exalted, girls or Dungeons and Dragons, hero, pathfinder, fate or savage wilds, evil plots will be usurping, though we could do with less burping. Happy Jack's podcast will be douchebag song.
The preceding program has been a presentation of the Angry Folk Media Empire.
Bum, bum, bum.